I bet you there's a lucky emblem here.
You think?
Hello YouTube, I am AZ Link and you are not. Luck is an interesting concept, isn't it? The idea of luck is a means to quantify how adept someone is or if something good or bad happens based on no tangible criteria whatsoever. Thus, when someone's skill outweighs that of another, or they capitalize on mistakes of another person, it's customary to use the phrase, "you got lucky." Cut to Sylphie saying you got lucky. Oh, wait.
You got lucky.
Kingdom Hearts 3 decided to take the intangible idea of luck and boil it down into a tangible shape in the form of lucky emblems. These are more commonly known as hidden Mickeys, which can be found all over the Disney parks, games, movies, etc. Now, there are 90 lucky emblems in Kingdom Hearts 3 strewn throughout the various Disney-inspired and non-Disney-inspired worlds. And so I got inspired by someone ranking every moon in Mario Odyssey to plagiarize that idea and set it to Kingdom Hearts. So, I will be ranking every lucky emblem in this game based on two main criteria. One, how creative the emblem is in terms of design and what it's made of, and two, placement. How cool or hard is it to find? It should also be noted that this ranking is entirely subjective based on what I like and dislike. Do you think some of these should be higher or lower? Let me know down below, and while you're down there, hit subscribe too. It helps out a lot and lets me make more of these videos that only, a dozen or so people actually enjoy. So, without further ado, here's a ranking of every single lucky emblem in Kingdom Hearts 3. Starting off at the absolute bottom of the barrel is Arendelle. All you have to do is run up this wall right here and bam, there it is, right in front of you. You don't have to do anything, you're going up this wall anyway, it's part of the game, so you can just grab that and then keep going. Also, I have a lot of problems with Arendelle, not least of which because I am a Twitch streamer, and this right here is absolutely terrible for any sort of Twitch anything, because copyrighted music and the mouse will not let you use it anywhere. Hey, I bet this is gonna feel familiar. Run up this wall, and then on this pillar right here, boom, there's another one. So yeah, not really anything to say here. Although something I did discover is by turning the camera, it's not impressed or anything. That's just how it's painted on there. It's not like pushed into the pillar or anything. That's just how it is and looks. So yeah, neat little tidbit there. Moving on. Hanging pretty obviously. Hainer, Pence, Olette, get it? Anyway, it should be noted that I actually really do like this one because it's shown to you in a really cool way. Like, it's one of the only ones you ever see in a cinematic, and it's a neat aspect to there. However, it just plain calls it out, and there's really nothing special about it. I mean, it's just right there over Olette's head, and then she just flat out tells you about it afterward. And it's not really made out of anything special. It's just there on a wall, and you literally have to see it because the game will not allow you not to. So that's why it's so low, despite me really enjoying it. So yeah, I guess it's not entirely subjective anymore, is it? Because I like this one, and I still have it on the third from the last. Whatever. It's my ranking. Meh. Alright, you're in Monstropolis. You're going around corners, run down the stairs. It's right there on the right. The only thing keeping this one from last place is that you kind of have to look in a different direction. So, yeah, lovely. Yo, Sora! Wanna get crunk? Yeah, it's just here, in a cave, on a wine barrel. Not much to say. It's just on another wall. It's over here, right next to the entrance to the mansion. That's it. It's just there. enjoy. Grab it, and let's move on. Also, take a cute selfie with Goofy yawning. Or not. Or try to fiddle with the emotions. You know what? Just take the damn picture already, would you? Just come on, okay, there we go. Cool. Alright, so this one's easy to the point where I accidentally found it while trying to find one of the more difficult and creative ones. So, yeah, nothing too special here. Now this one is where it is because you have to slightly turn around. Once you fly up here and watch your party members all fall to their doom, it's just right there. And your party members also get resurrected right behind you somehow. Okay. Getting into slightly more difficult territory here because this is actually on a branching pathway which branches 3 different ways, but it's still just a mouse-eared tramp stamp right there on the path. So, snag it and let's go. Continuing with the slightly more difficult royal graffiti is this over here. This one I actually did have a little bit of trouble finding because it's just plain off the path. It's over here all the way in the wall. Well, kind of on the wall, but yeah, it's not a place that you would actually go naturally, so it's slightly difficult, I'll say that. No, Sora, don't do it. There's so much to live for. There's so many more lucky emblems to rank. Okay, like this one, actually. Yeah, it's there. Right there. This one here is where it is because I actually ran past it the first time while I was looking for it. But if you go back and if you go back, Sora, go back. If you go back and look right next to this guy who's either super chill or fried out of his mind, you'll see it just hanging there on the pillar. Yeah, you are just zooted like no tomorrow. Back in the ice labyrinth, you do have to go off of a branching path and go across this bridge in order to really see it. But yeah, here it is. No big deal, really. Admittedly, this one is pretty far out of the way. However, it's just here on another rock, so it's not really that big of a deal. So, it's easy enough. Alright, so you're in Monstropolis, you're hanging around, going through things, you want to go talk to Sully, and you just see it. Alright, so this one is pretty small, and it's on something that you really wouldn't notice all that easily, so that's why it's this high, but it is right there on the pathway. So, yeah. Also, Donald just wiggled his ass in front of me, and I'm not here for that. Same deal. It's off the beaten path this time, but it's just there on another wooden door. Donald not wiggling his ass at me this time, so that's always nice. Next up, we're in 100 Acre Wood for the first time with a legitimate hidden Mickey. It's just on the back of this pumpkin. It is, for real, hidden. Like, you'd have to explore the world a little bit in order to find it, which is cool. I like that. It's still not made out of anything special, but it is still a legitimately hidden Mickey. This one requires you to go to the end of the hallway, however, it's also not on a path that you might explore all that much, so that's why that's there. The Caribbean has some of the best hidden Mickeys, and this is, I want to say, the worst one, because it's not made of anything special, but you do have to go somewhere where you probably wouldn't normally go, so that's why it's here. Also, you get to see all of your party members attempt to drown themselves, so bonus. This one is for real just hard to see. Like, it's nothing really special, it's just really hard to see where it is. Sora, what do your regular boy eyes see through your camera lens? Well, there's not really much there, is there? Wait, what? Who just ran down those stairs? Did you see that? Anyway, this one is actually really tough to find because it's on a path where you probably wouldn't go unless you're searching for crabs. And it's like on the back of this sign on a dock that you probably would never even think of as conspicuous. So yeah, it's kind of tough, and that's why it's here. This actually takes place in a pretty tense scene where you're probably not even thinking to, like, look around, let alone behind you at the door you just ran through, so that's why that's there. Alright, now I do really like the placement of this one, however, if you are any sort of gamer who has played any sort of open world game in a city, then you know that what you do is you climb to the absolute highest point and you jump off. So that's why this is still so kind of low, because it's just gamer instinct at this point. And keeping with that trend, here we have another one on top of a building. However, this building is smaller, so you might not think to go on top of more of them. So, yeah, here she is. Also, Baymax is playing with a butterfly. How cute, you adorable bastard. This island you might not even come to, so that's why it's here, but it's right there. It's pretty obvious, but it's on an island that you may not even visit, so the placement is there, I suppose. This one is legit tough to spot because it's kind of on a pathway that is just one little branch on the main, like, area that you go, and it's hanging out on this tree. I love the scenery in San Francisco, I really do. It's just, oh, hold on a sec. Anyway, it's just a shame that the scenery is absolutely marred by Mickey. I mean, look at this, that's just vandalism at this point. And now we have proof that Mickey Mouse has served time in prison for his war crimes, because if you go into this cell and check this ball and chain, yeah, he's been here. He has served his time. And yet he's still allowed to roam free and slaughter helpless innocents, be them heartless or not. Jack, what are you doing? Are you okay, Jack? Jack, really? Oh, okay, goodbye. Oh yeah, Donald, I bet you're real proud of yourself, aren't you? Are you proud of your king, too? Look at what he's done! This here is a Mickey hidden behind an urn, so it's actually hidden. But it's not hidden very well. You just have to break that, and yeah, there you go. And honestly, you would probably break it anyway during this fight, because you'd just decide to lock on to things that aren't enemies sometimes. But if you do somehow manage to kill only the enemies and nothing else and resist your Zelda-like compulsion to break all the pottery, then yeah, you might not see it. This one's fun because it makes you play with this clown that wobbles but doesn't fall over, and it's hiding out underneath it. I mean, it is still just a regular little mouse-eared stamp, but still, it's fun. So this one's neat because it's on one of these blimp type things, which you may not even think to go on as much, particularly every single one of them looking for one of these. So yeah, it's kind of neat and fun. And Baymax, get out of the way. Baymax, quit pushing me. Baymax! Calm down. Okay, cool. Now, let me get this picture. Baymax. For real? Okay, good. You're over there. Now, let me get the picture. Oy. Cool. Get the hell out of my way. This one really shouldn't be up this high, but I legitimately could not find it without a guide because I never even thought to run up that wall. So yeah, this one's entirely subjective because it's just something that I was an idiot about. Back on another rooftop, or rather dropping down onto a rooftop from way higher. You know, you really ought to break your ankles or something, kid. But since you do not break your ankles, you're able to just kind of stroll around this dome for a little bit until you find it. I really do like the ones in San Francisco, I gotta say, but they're just so uncreative in terms of their design sometimes. It's a shame, really. Hey, look, we're back in Monstropolis, going to the end of another hallway. Or, I guess, the beginning of another hallway, because you have to run down the opposite direction to go to a dead end, and then come back here in order to find it, but you may not even find it because you're just running along doing things. So, I guess that's why it's this high? This is in the Caribbean on an island that's just way out in the middle of nowhere that you may not go to, but you dive down in here and it's kind of just right in front. Oh, hi guys, excuse me. Yeah, you dive down, it's kind of just right in front of you, so that's it. The only reason it's here is because you probably won't even go to this island. It's not a requirement or anything. This is legit a reward for exploration. This is legit a reward for exploration. Okay, now this one is here. It's an easy one to spot, but the story takes you away from it, so you actually have to backtrack to another section. Now, I know I said before that it being shown to you in a cinematic makes it way too obvious, but it's shown to you in a cinematic before you even have the camera, so it rewards you for remembering that it was there, I suppose you could say. And, you know, you run right by it, and it's shown to you in a really cool way, and it rewards you for being like, oh, hey, wait, I remember that, let me go grab it. And so you come back here once you have the camera, and you can nab it. It's cool. I like it. Leave me alone. I know what I said earlier, but this is done in a different way, so there. This is legit just really hard to spot because it's just on the surface streets in San Francisco, in this alley that you really, really have to explore in order to try and find this thing. Also, does anyone still play the game where you find a yellow car and then slug the person next to you, or is that just me? So, you run up this wall, you get to the top of it, you turn around, and hey, there it is. It's right there. What? You don't see it? No, it's right there. Yeah, it's just there. See it? It's right there. Yeah, there it is. See? It's obvious. It's very obvious. It's just right there. You know, you can totally see that easily. You know, I'm really not even sure why this is up so high. Alright, this one is probably one of my favorites of just the typical Mickey stamps, because it's right here on this little display. But the problem is, there's an entire display in the way that you have to come back and completely destroy in order to see it. This one would probably be at the top of the rank if it wasn't made out of just a marker that Mickey Mouse stole from some child. If it was made out of like screws or something, or bolts that show that it was keeping the display up, then yeah, it would be absolutely perfect. But the design has just this glaring flaw that keeps it from being almost perfection. This is one of the few Lucky Emblems that's actually shown to you in a cinematic, but not only is it shown to you in a cinematic, it is shown to you in the title card. So that's cool. I like that. And I know it's kind of like the whole Olette situation, but it's shown to you in the title card, and you might not see it. It's kind of blink if you miss it. And so if you just climb up the wall here, it's also a little bit difficult to get to because you have to climb up the wall in order to get at it. You can't just climb up this shelf. So yeah, it's neat. It's shown to you in a neat way. Oh, hey, a chest. It's neat. It's shown to you in a neat way, and yeah, I like it. This one is where it is for sheer nostalgia and icon factor. Because you know you're gonna climb this tower. Of course you're gonna climb this tower. But it's Twilight Town, man. It's Twilight Town, and it's beautiful, and I love Twilight Town. This one is just plain really tough to not only spot, but to get at. I mean, I feel compelled to climb up on pretty much everything that's hanging, but even still, this UFO might not think anything is there. And it's neat. This is a neat one because it's a lucky emblem mixed with an Easter egg. Now, there are countless videos online explaining what A113 is, so I'm not going to go into that here, but it's all over the place in Pixar movies, and I really like that they put it into a Pixar world as well. And we're back in Twilight Town. Oh, I love Twilight Town. But anyway, this one is probably the only, like, Mickey stamp that's somewhat hidden, because if you look at it, the head is one of the dots, and it's a really neat little thing that they did there, and I really like this one. It's top of the class for the Mickey graffitis. Or at least it would be if not for Olympus. See, when you come down here, you see the Forge of Hephaestus. Like, I'm a major Greek mythology nerd. I'll say it here. I'll say it pretty much anywhere. So getting to run around like Mount Olympus and going to the Forge of Hephaestus, that was incredible to me. And I'm so intrigued that they put a lucky emblem on Hephaestus Anvil. It's absolutely bonkers, and I love it. And then also afterward, you get to play with the Forge and create a new shield for Goofy, which is an upgrade to his starter shield. So, yeah, congratulations, Hephaestus. You upgraded yourself from making some of the most powerful weapons in the cosmos for the gods to making a weak early game shield for a dog. You're really coming up on the world, bud. Alright, now that all the Mets are done, we're on to the ones that are actually made out of some more creative things. And we're starting off with some really uncreative ones, because they're just chunks taken out of a wall. First off, actually, if you're just on this dude's shield here, please get off of the shield. There we go. Now we can actually see it. It's just, yeah, some chunks taken out of... Oh, excuse. Yeah, okay, good? We good? Hercules, you good? Alright, so yeah, it's just some chunks taken out of a wall, nothing really overly special here. And we're moving on from one lucky emblem of chunks taken out of a wall to another lucky emblem of chunks taken out of a wall. But this one's smaller, and it's a little bit in more of an obscure location, so yeah, it's a little bit higher. And we're back with more chunks taken out of a wall. Are we seeing a trend here yet? But this one's cool because you have to ride on Goofy's shield and then it's there, but again, you don't have your camera yet, so it rewards you for remembering that it's there, and it's in a really cool scene where you're just kind of sliding through crap on Goofy's shield and there's fire and stuff, so it's neat. I like it. This here is another one that shows up in a cinematic right there behind Sora's head, and that pillar, and above Donald. Well, you can see it. Alright, so that one's pretty cool, but again, it's shown to you in a cinematic, so when you come back here with the camera, you're like, oh, wait, I saw that! And then you can just go grab it. But it is really cool that you need the right perspective. Like, you gotta be in front of the staircase. You can't be on top of it or in the wrong spot. So, it's neat. These ones are really cool. So, yeah, this one is just over here made out of some vines, which I think is awesome. Because not only is it made out of some vines, the atmosphere is incredible because it's raining and thunderstorming and you're fighting a rock titan and everything. It's wild. I really enjoy it. This one is pretty difficult to find because it's for real just some light coming through the trees. There's some that, you know, you're like, oh, Mickey Mouse did that. But there are others that are like, okay, how would Mickey Mouse have done that? And that's definitely one of them. Looking at this one, I really want to go to a rooftop restaurant now, particularly in a place that just oozes charm like Twilight Town does. But I'm not really certain as to where those plates came from. This was definitely one that Mickey Mouse especially did, just for us to be like, oh, good luck finding this one, you little bastards! Bro, same. I have done desk jobs before, and I can honestly say that I would probably start drawing Mickey Mouse emblems too, once I went insane enough. That's why I do not have a desk job anymore. I can't do it. I mean, YouTube is kind of a desk job, but whatever. This one's really obscure and out of the way. It's just way off the beaten path in Arendelle, and I really like that it's in this cistern, and it's not really made out of ash, but it's like impressed, which is cool. It impressed me. Alright, more lights shining through things and making lucky emblems. These actually, honestly, may have been made out of bullet holes, knowing the Pirates universe. So, that's fun. Sora, take the picture and let's get out of here now. Sora, take the picture. Thank you. This one's neat because it's really just made out of stones, and I like the overall aesthetic. They're not perfectly round or anything. However, It's in a room that has absolutely nothing in it except for this path up here that leads to the perfect spot to see a lucky emblem. It's a room that they created for the lucky emblem. It'd be more interesting if it was just a lucky emblem in a room created for something else, but it's clear that it's just for the lucky emblem. Alright, we're getting into some of the creative ones here in San Francisco, starting off with this one that's made out of some spotlights. The only reason this one's so low is because they're quite clearly circles that Mickey Mouse has taken some spotlights and just shown them on this billboard. But San Francisco really is a charming world. Say what you want about Big Hero 6, but San Francisco is just a really charming world. What is Goofy doing over there? Like, what? Everybody's over here. Why are you over there, Goofy? What are you doing? This one is really neat, not only because it's in Twilight Town, but because it's a little movie that plays beforehand that's actually a reference to one of the classic Kingdom games, and then once that movie is done, you're rewarded for actually watching the damn thing by getting a lucky emblem here. It's quite clearly just some schmutz on the screen that the projector hides, but even still, it's cool that it shows that, and yeah, it's a neat little thing that just brings more charm to a world that's just dripping charm. This one's really tough to find because who would think to look in the bucket for a little splash of water that's in the shape of Mickey's head? Is that a splash of water? I think it's more like a wet spot that kind of stained the bucket. But anyway, I'm getting into semantics here. Who would think to do that, you know? It's neat. I like it. It's tough to spot. Okay, so it's just another, like, spot on the wall where the light is coming through the leaves, but this one's at least harder to spot, so yeah, this one, I guess, just goes here, then. Okay, this one's cool. It's like what a lucky emblem is kind of supposed to be, because it just kind of blends in with the environment in a meaningful way, and I enjoy that, you know? That's something that I appreciate. It's something that you would find in, like, a Disney park or something. It's a realistic implementation of the lucky emblem. Plus, you know, Sora's got wood. So this one is another really neat representation of what lucky emblems should be. Also, you know, get some money while you're at it. It's just 3 rolls of tape just kind of aligned to create a Mickey head. It's neat, and I like it. And, yeah, other things to say. So this one, honestly, it probably shouldn't be up this high, but it is anyway, because if you're doing your job as a gamer, you're going to climb on top of things, but it is pretty difficult to spot otherwise. Like, from the ground, you're not really gonna notice it all that much. You'll have to climb the tower and look around, or have one of your companions yell at you in order to actually spot it. Plus, it's Tangled, and I love Tangled, so leave me alone. Alright folks, prepare your pitchforks as I tell you that Monsters, Inc. probably is not one of my more favorite Pixar movies. But this Lucky Emblem's good. I mean, I like it. It's paint splotches from actually a really interesting point in this game where Mike and Sully have to paint themselves in order to get Boo to laugh. I don't know why they had to go that hard, but they did, and it was fun. Back in Arendelle with this next one, and you're not going to be able to find this at first because, well, the wind's gonna blow you all over the place. But if you come back to it later, you can come back to this particular section without Elsa trying to blow you. Never mind that. But you can come back here to find it on that rock right there. with Elsa not... you know what? Let's move on. Alright, this is another one that you're not going to be able to get on your first run-through of the world because, well, it's on fire. It is literally on fire. The lucky emblem is right there, and it's on fire. Oh, excuse me. Give me just a second here. But yeah, you can't get at it from any angle here because, well, again, it's on fire. There's a chest over here, though. Nice. So, what you're going to have to do is follow this slime trail over to this goopy monster, kill him in one hit, leave and come back, and then boom, it's right there. I don't know if this is an oil slick or water from the... Oh, hey, hold on. Get out of here. Hey, you come back here. Will you stop? Okay. More? Come on. All right, get out of here. You, Mike, what are you doing? Anyway, I don't know if this is an oil slick or water from fire hoses or whatever, but yeah, it's there now, and it's no longer ablaze. So, that's nice. This one's really neat, and I enjoy the placement of it because, well, it's right there. It's just right there in front of me. I know what you're thinking now. Oh, I can't see it. Well, if you will kindly shut your mouth for 15 seconds, you lazy baby, and climb the mountain a little bit more, you can see it. All you gotta do is jump up here and look over the edge. Well, not this edge, but an edge. Yeah, you just run around here, destroy all of these guys with a single hit because you are just that strong. Impress all your friends. And then you just look over this edge. And boom, there she is. Now sure, it's just 3 perfect circles, so it's not gaining any points there, but the placement of it, yeah, that carries it much further. Now for perhaps the most annoying emblem to actually get to. From here, when you fall off the mountain, again, it is very difficult to find. Or rather, it's not so difficult to find, but it is very difficult to get at, because you gotta, like, land in the proper spots, and you're probably going to find other lucky emblems in search of this one, and it's just a kind of a big mess, and to me, difficulty to find does not equal creative placement. So, it's why it's more, well, it's high, but it's kind of low at the same time, you know what I mean? Because it is very creative. It's made out of snow, but it's annoying to try and get at. But eventually, after screwing around for a while, you'll probably find it on accident. Like I did. Let me try and get to it the way it's supposed to be gotten. So I know where it is now, at least. And I gotta... Come on. There it is. So yeah, you land on this part, and it just slides you down to the lucky emblem. Yeah, first time, perfect go. Well done, Sora. Yeah. This one is awesome, and it's probably in my favorite world, because it's made out of junk. It's made out of 2 barrels and a friggin' table, and it's cool. It's great. I really like this one. I don't remember why I have it down so low, probably because there are so many other cooler ones. But, oh, hey, Goofy. But, yeah, this one, it's great. It's what a lucky emblem should be. This one's up higher because it's really difficult to find and you need to break the environment in order to get at it. But yeah, once you bust those things down, you see this chipped paint here that Mickey must have come along and was like, huh? You know what I'm gonna do? Time for some vandalism! And just kinda, yeah, did that. Anyway, moving on. This one's a bit hard to spot, but you can get it from a really neat location, because you just climb up this bridge building here, and if you want, you can come over here and perch on top of... You could perch on top of this guy's head, get a little bit of food, and you can see it perfectly from right here. It's just in these little bushes here. It's cool. This is another neat one that shows up in cinematics. You can see it right there at the top left, but it's actually clearer in a bit. There it is. Yeah, right there next to Wasabi's head, before they're talking about the Shugio, I believe they were talking about here. Anyway. But yeah, I like how it's just made out of cables on the garage wall, and yeah, it's cool. I like it. Also, Wasabi's here, saying hi. Stop. Okay. Blocking my shot. Alright, these ones are the cream of the crop as far as I'm concerned, because they're all made either out of things that just feel relative to the environment or are really cool to spot. This one being a prime example of it. It's just 3 lumps of rope over here on the military barracks. And you get an orichalcum ring, or at least I did. But it just feels like it's natural to the environment, like it just should be there, and it just happens to be a lucky emblem. This one you may not even notice on the first time because it just blends into the background. It's just a topiary bush way back where no one can really see it. But if you see it, go ahead and snag it. It's one of the more unique ones. This one, if you're not at the proper angle, you won't see it properly. Or you might, you just probably won't notice it, I guess. But all of the San Francisco ones are really hard to find because of the size of San Francisco, and this one in particularly so. In particularly? Is that a word? Whatever. It's a word now. This one in particularly so because it's just in a tunnel somewhere, and you gotta be at the right angle in order to see it improperly so. Yeah, I'm putting in before every Lee word that I say now. Okay? Apparently, that's what I'm doing. This one is mainly just placement because it's just on a little staircase in the middle of a city that if you're going down the stairs, you won't even see it. You gotta be at the proper angle, in the proper spot, at the proper staircase in order to actually see this. It's not particularly difficult to get at, which is why that one in Arendelle was so low, but this one is just more neat, like, optical placement, I guess. It's kind of like illusion-based, and I really appreciate that. Also, Baymax, get out of the way. Okay, good, thank you. So, this one is really difficult to spot unless you are in the absolute proper place. Because here, it's just 3 broken down barrels, vaguely put together in some sort of a pattern. But if you climb up onto this rock, it's a perfect lucky emblem. And that's really cool. I love how it plays with perspective. And the Pirates ones are always really difficult to spot because of how big and open the Caribbean is. So, when you run out here, out of Galaxy Toys, as your toy form in Toy Story, ignore the Pizza Planet truck, or take a picture of it, whatever you want to do, because of course it's here. If you go to the right, these little stickers over here make the lucky emblem. Now, that's just, how cool is that? I mean, that takes some real creativity right there, because one of them is just like a sign on the box and 2 of them are other like little signs. It's awesome. Love this. Here's another one that plays with perspective, because if you're not looking at it properly again, it's just a couple pipes. But if you're up on this platform, it forms another perfect lucky emblem. Now, these ones play more with two-dimensional space, and I really appreciate that. There's another one later on that plays with three-dimensional space, and that is great, and you'll see that soon. So this one, it's on the sidewalk right here, but, well, unless somebody tells you that there's a lucky emblem there, you could just run by it and just look at it as debris on the sidewalk. But if you come up here on this stoop, and you see that all the debris just forms this lucky emblem, and it's really cool. It's another one that plays with perspective. From here on, a lot of them just play with perspective, as you'll see. So, yeah, this is another prime example of that, because it doesn't look like anything unless you're in the right spot. So this one is up here because of its sheer massive size and the fact that the lucky emblem is a cave. Like, it's a full-on cave. So, really nice interactive element going in with that. And it doesn't really play on perspective like many of the other ones do, but I like interactive elements in my lucky emblems, and this one is very interactive because you can actually go into it and there's treasure and stuff. So I believe this one's on the Lucky Island, or something like that. But it's these three massive boulders right here that you will never really even suspect to be anything. And we're going to see a lot of pirates now because the Pirates of the Caribbean Lucky Emblems are absolutely mint. But yeah, these boulders here, yeah, those are the Lucky Emblems. But again, it plays with perspective in that you got to be in the right spot in order to see them. After knocking a bunch of item drops out of a coconut tree for some reason. And busting all of this up. Stop breaking things and go get the Lucky Emblem, please. You're breaking more things instead of looking at the Lucky Emblem. Okay, yes, you gotta go up there. Alright, so yes, let's go up here. The proper way. Also, get some saffron, I guess. And when you go up there, those three massive boulders form the Lucky Emblem. It's a really cool shift in perspective and being in the right place in order to see what you need. So this is really neat because you got to be up there on the giant bowl, or is that Taurus? I'm not sure, but you got to be up here, and it's just way back past the clouds and on that little island, and you can only see it properly from this spot. So, and this spot isn't particularly difficult to get to, but it is very easy to... Hercules, why'd you do that? Anyway... this spot isn't particularly difficult to get to, but you can only see it from this spot, and you're probably going to miss it unless you're actively looking for it, because it's just way back there in the background again. So this one is really neat because it plays with the aspect of the different colored doors on the walls. Like... it's a Lucky Emblem formed out of the different colored doors. Actually, looking at it now, it kind of looks like a Light Bright. Zoomer kids, Light Bright, I don't know, just Google it, whatever. And also Sully is here, being Sully and getting in the way. So, yeah, that's fun. This one is here because it is so hard to see. Like, looking at it down there, you wouldn't even really expect that to be anything except for a patch of seaweed, unless you're actively looking for Lucky Emblems like I was for this video. Or one of your companions tells you. But yeah, there it is. It's really tough to spot, but it's a really cool one because of its niche nature. This right here I love because it not only shows up in a cinematic, but it doesn't look like it does. And it plays with 3D perspective, because you have to be literally in the right spot in order to see it, and otherwise it's just going to look like disco balls hanging over the registers. You gotta be right here in order to see it as a lucky emblem. If you move too far to the right, you can't see it. You move too far to the left, Woody's there, but you can't see it. You gotta be right here, and otherwise, it's just disco balls. Like, look at this. How cool is that? How inventive is that? That right there showcases the creativity that Lucky Emblems should have. This one is probably one of the coolest, that's why it's at number 2, because you can just sail by it several times and crash into the rocks several times without ever even knowing that it's there, unless one of your companions tells you that something is up. See, you crash into the rock a lot. Because I love this one's placement. It is incredibly hard to spot. It's in an incredibly creative location, made out of creative materials, if you consider rock creative material. But I do, because look at it. It's imperfect. It's not like perfect circles or anything like that. It's probably one of the most perfect examples of a lucky emblem that there is. This one, the disco balls, and the next one. Alright, yes, we started in Arendelle, and Arendelle is where we are finishing, and while this one gets absolutely no creativity points because it is just 3 circles, it gets all of the placement points because look, right there, it's just a circle on the wall. That's all. There's just a circle. And you can just walk by it and think absolutely nothing of it and completely go about your day. This one also forces you to backtrack a little bit because once you come in here... Oh, hi guys. What's up? Get out of the way, please. Ow, 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 ow. Hey, hey! Alright, good. You're gone. Because once you get in here, and you spin around this pillar, and you will legitimately change the environment in order to find this lucky emblem. So once you change your environment, you come back here, and it's right there on the wall where the circle was. And that is the coolest bit in this game. It's just the coolest lucky emblem. And it's fitting that the coolest lucky emblem is in the world by Frozen. And there you have it, folks. Every single lucky emblem ranked. If you have made it this far into the video, you are truly a warrior. And I also apologize for the state of my voice right now. Arizona is... it's not being the desert that it should be. Right now, you walk outside and you can smell the pollen in the air, so it's having some effects. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you agreed with some of my decisions, or, well, whether or not you agreed or disagreed, let me know down below. And with nothing further, I urge you to do that whole YouTube thing. Like, comment, subscribe, ring my bell, and I will see you very soon. Later.